You're bloody well right. Supertramp, the superest of all tramps. Before that, baseball and football from George Carlin. One of my favorite bits, one of Roger's favorite bits from the man, the legend.
George.
Everybody's.
Sorry, still doing Beatles.
Beatles is our other show. This show, we hate the Beatles on this show, which is weird because we love them on our other show with the Beatles on the 60s channel. Before baseball and football with George Carlin, we had Roadhouse Blues by the Doors from Morrison Hotel.
Great song.
1970, I was minus 1 year old. And we started things off with I'm a Man by Chicago. From Chicago, some call it Chicago One. It's not really. It's the Chicago Transit Authority album before they had to change their name. Turns out there was actually a real Chicago Transit Authority, and there was there were some issues there.
You think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to change it to just Chicago because there was no city called that. So that worked out pretty well for them. Spencer Davis used to do that song as well. Back then in the late 60s, they would just cover shit. Like the next year, be like, oh, remember that hit song? Let's cover it and release it a year later.
Right.
You don't do that anymore.
Yeah. And the names are interesting they were all coming up with then.
Oh, yeah.
The names. Chicago Transit Authority. I mean, you have to, why would you go with
Well, because
Chicago
there was the actual CTA.
Right.
And that was it.
But you're naming that's kind of a long name for it worked.
Yeah. Back in high school, I had some friends who were in a band and they called themselves the Salvation Army. And at no point did they think that could run them into some issues. And certainly, at a certain point, there was an issue, and they had to not be that anymore.
We are serving you with a cease and desist. You are not bringing in the sheaves. Please.
Well, I think didn't they work out a deal though? Did they?
It was a timeshare. It was like the WWF and the WWE.
Once a year, they had to put on Santa suits and stand outside of Woolworths.
That's their
Which I think is
community
fair.
service right there.